The airlift of the Nigerian pilgrims for this year's Hajj, which commenced on 15th May, was concluded on 10th June 2024, 72 hours before the deadline set by the Saudi Authority. All the more than 60,000 Nigerian pilgrims also moved to Medina pre-Arafat. The pilgrims who observed the Arafat day on 15th June after spending a night at Muna Valley had a stopover at Muzdalifah and later went back to Muna, where they stayed for 2 days, during which they performed the symbolic stoning of the devil. The pilgrims are now back in Mecca, which signifies the completion of this year's Hajj rites. Some pilgrims, including the Bauchi State Governor and Chairman PDP Governors Forum, Senator Bala Muhammad, assess the journey so far.
The assessment in terms of travel arrangement are good. So I think NACO can do better if they are given assistance by the federal government.
We have been into this business for a very long time. We never had it so good like this time around. We have witnessed a lot of changes.
There is tremendous improvement as far as this Hajj is concerned, because I was there last year with the kind of thing we made here, in especially the Mashair, from Mina to Arafat, was a total mess. No accommodation, no spaces for our pilgrims, and there was no food, especially on the plain of Arafat. You could not get food until it was about 6 p.m. We got something to share among ourselves. But this time around, you see we have 3 square meals, both in Mina and Arafat.
What I consider unique is especially the usage of ICT generally. I studied that from even the Medina, from the Arab documentation. Most of the things they did is on ICT. And they ensure adequate documentation for every activities. Secondly, that will also transfer to NACO.
The pilgrims, however, raised some concerns.
We have so many responsibilities that have been taken away by NACO, and which we believe the state can do better in trying to assist the federal government to reduce the burden on NACO. Issues of welfare in terms of health, in terms of accommodation, in terms of feeding, and then reduction in the cost of Hajj itself, and getting subsidy from the federal government.
The area of improvement is that area of accommodation. You can imagine a space that is supposed to contain just 1,265 pilgrims from Gombe State. Is still lacking in space. And it is this same space that they gave us last year when we had 2,507 pilgrims.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria says all the issues raised will be looked into for appropriate action.
Certainly, anybody that wants to be judgmental in the positive would have noticed some improvement from what happened last year and 2022. So that's the way to go. We'll continue to improve. And I keep saying that, of course, our strategies, we don't have to get it 100% at a go, but we want to be winning gradually.
One issue that stands out in this year's Hajj is the introduction of a Hajj permit, popularly known as Nusuk card, by the Saudi Authority. This, many stakeholders observed, has gone a long way in preventing intruders from accessing the holy sites. Meanwhile, a pre-Arafat report by the NACO's medical mission for the 2024 Hajj in Saudi Arabia shows that 10 Nigerian pilgrims have lost their lives in Medina and Mecca. In the meantime, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria says arrangements have been concluded for the airlift of the Nigerian pilgrims back home.
By the 22nd, 23rd, if we're able to confirm, and we'll announce it formally, we would have started our first flight. If you calculate from the 15th or 16th that people started coming and you're able to take them out on the 22nd, they would have spent less than 40 days.
The NACO's chairman maintained that the journey back home will be strictly based on a first in, first out basis. From the holy city of Mecca in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.